so glad you found my channel, Sweet Uniqueities, where everything I do here is always sweet and custom for an event, making it a true Uniqueity. Please don't forget to subscribe. Today's topic is definitely a custom celebration. We are celebrating back to school. And those of you who have young children know exactly what a celebration that is, right? Now, my sweet children are going to start their senior year in college, and I don't even know how the Uniqueity kids got to be that big, but they are, and they are getting ready to start, and that is fantastic for them. So, but today we are celebrating my dear neighbor Laura, and I will tell you that we have super scored in the neighbor department the last few moves. And when we moved to New Jersey, my neighbor there was phenomenal. Love you, Wanda. I miss you. And when we moved here, like Laura and her hubby have been so accommodating and so helpful. When we moved in, they have just really been a godsend. So I appreciate them so much. But Miss Laura is not only going back to school as a teacher, God love her, but also she's back to work. She has been at home for about 8 years, and she has decided it is time to re-enter the workforce and help kids, and she probably will get more rest at school than she does at home, because that girl, she is working all the time. Like, her yard is like immaculate. But anyway, she puts me to shame. So anyway, so she is going back to school, back to work. So today's topic is all those things to celebrate. You can customize this treat in any way you want, whatever you're celebrating. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and let's get to work. So to make the plaques, I take some black fondant and add some CMC powder to it and just squish it away. Knead it, knead it, knead it. I want it all to be incorporated so that it will dry well so that I can actually paint on it. I want this to look like a chalkboard. And I'm using a little plaque cutter just to cut that out. With the chalkboard plaques, I thought we definitely needed to elevate the party level, and the best way I know to elevate party level is to add some vibrant colors. So we are going to use the Rolkem Lumo colors to paint our flowers today. And if you have not seen my video where I take basically sugar crystal candy and I color it, it starts off like a clear white color with these powders. It is so amazing, the transformation, and seriously, a toddler could do it. It took no skill at all, like no skill. So check that video out. I will link it down below. But we are going to paint with these today. We're gonna make some sweet little flowers to put with the plaques. And so let's get started with the flowers. So cherry blossoms are so popular. They're so cute, and I'm just using my little kind of whimsical little flower for this. It's a 5-petal, and then I use an embosser to really make it look like a cherry petal, but it's orange. It's going to be neon orange. So another great way to use your cherry blossom embosser if you have one. You might notice that I am using fondant in the shades of neon already, and this just helps me to not have to use so much powder because I'm starting with the basic shade. So we're going to intensify those with the Lumos, but if you want to just use regular fondant in those bright colors, that's totally fine as well. I love to use impression mats, and so I use that on my fondant to help my leaves look more like true leaves. And then here I am just using a little round silicone sphere mold, and I push my little flowers down gently in there so that when they dry, they have shape and they're not just flat. I love the look of the petals when they are standing up in different ways. Makes them more realistic, because neon flowers should look realistic, right? These are definitely going to need to dry overnight, so just be patient, let them dry so you can handle them well. And here I am just taking a little bit of edible adhesive, and then I am making my flowers, assembling them together. And I just hear, oh my gosh, I wanted you guys to see the intensity of this pink. Isn't that awesome? I love this. I pick up a lot of just inexpensive makeup brushes from the Dollar Tree. So just use, and I use them only for, cake decorating. So you can, find inexpensive brushes to add your powders to. And I'm just dry brushing them on. I'm not using any liquid, but just look at the change that these colors add to this already beautiful neon fondant. I love it. I can't get enough. So here I'm taking an edible marker, and I am writing out what I want my plaque to say. And I had practiced this several times on paper. I used my good friend Ashley to help me come up with a look, and I couldn't make it as cool as hers, but I still think these turned out really sweet. But this gives me a guide, and you can't really see it on the plaque, so it works well. So now it is time to add the chalk look, and so I'm using Americolor in the bright white and a small paintbrush that I used for my cake decorating. And this was pretty thin, so I didn't have to thin it down, but if you need to thin it down to make it paintable, use just a drop or two of inexpensive vodka, and look how awesome it looks. I just, carefully draw over my original marker lines, and then at the end I will add some detail, and it will just be adorable. I used a sugar cookie bar recipe from I Heart Nap Time, and I will link that down below. It is very soft and delicious and rich. And then I just piped pale pink, and I probably should have went a little brighter, but I didn't want to take away from the flowers. I think they turned out so pretty. I displayed this cookie and handed it to her and gave it to her on a Dollar Tree platter, which worked perfectly. It was a perfect size. So for the final presentation, I actually wound up using a little cornstarch on the plaques to try to make them look a little bit more like smudged blackboards, but I feel like it kind of muddled and messed up my plaques. I probably would just leave them like they were before. So I do think that the flowers look adorable. So it's a great way, if you have a cherry blossom embosser, to make them look completely different. I'm so glad that you joined me today. If you have any words of encouragement for Miss Laura on her first day back to school, please leave a message for her in the comments below, and I'll make sure she sees them. I would also love it if you would come back and see me on my next video. The best way to do that, of course, is to subscribe and hit the bell so that you don't miss any future content. So I wish all of you new adventures ahead and a very sweet and unique day. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. See you soon. Bye-bye.